Hey there guys, John Campea here, and thanks for visiting my movie vlog, and I guess we file this one under sure, why the hell not? You guys have been paying attention over the last couple of days to Knight Rider news. You know, there was some chatter about David Hasselhoff wanting to do an R-rated, Logan-inspired Knight Rider reboot sort of thing. I guess he was talking to Robert Rodriguez or something like that. Well, look, they've been trying to get a new Knight Rider thing going for a while now. They were talking about doing like a limited series on Machinima that had a very short-lived relaunch of a television series a couple of years ago. Well, now Screen Rant is reporting that they have sources claiming that the Weinstein Company is seriously looking at John Cena and Kevin Hart. I guess the idea here is that John Cena would play Michael Knight and Kevin Hart would be the voice of Kit, I suppose? Clearly, this would be an attempt at replicating the formula of 21 and 22 Jump Street of bringing back old classic TV shows and an R-rated spoof kind of comedy because, you know, recently we've had tons of success with people trying to mimic that formula. But to be honest, I'm not completely against the idea of relaunching a Knight Rider series, even doing it in the 21 or 22 Jump Street style of spoofy comedy, playing off the nostalgia factor of an old TV show. I actually think there's some possibility there. And look, I'm not even against the idea of Kevin Hart being the voice of Kit. Is that a massive departure from what Kit has been? Sure, but why not? Take some liberties. If you think you got a good idea that might work and you might want to roll the dice, look, a lot of people are always complaining Hollywood doesn't take chances. Well, having Kevin Hart do the voice of Kit would kind of be rolling the dice and doing something a little bit risky. The big question mark here for me that just does not get me on board for this is the notion of John Cena. And I'm one of these people who will defend Cena in the sense that in the idea of small comedic roles like we saw him in Sisters or Trainwreck, he actually has begun to start to find his stride. But I'll be honest with you, as of right now, I have not seen John Cena do anything that would convince me that he is ready to take on an actual wide release major Hollywood comedy film and putting it all on his shoulders. It might be one thing too if Kevin Hart was actually standing beside him to do a lot of the heavy lifting, but if Kevin Hart is just going to be a disembodied voice coming out of the Kit car, then that leaves John Cena to kind of carry the movie. And like I said, maybe he can do it. That's fine. He's been fine in these small comedic roles. I'm just saying, up until this point, I have seen him do nothing that convinces me he's ready to take on something like that. And yes, I still have the bad taste of both Chips and Baywatch in my mouth, and that's kind of hard to get over. A little bit of commentary here. Keep this in mind too. Screen Rant used to be one of my absolute go-to most trusted sources for movie news on the web. They are no longer that. I mean, they're still a very, very good site, and I read them almost daily, but this is also the same site that reported as a fact that Hugh Jackman was now the voice of Scar. That clearly didn't turn out to be true, and I've been noticing a lot, at least one a week, where they run a headline that's just factually not true at this point. So do take that with the slightest grain of salt. But obviously the most important question here is, what do you make of this? Let's assume for a second that this news is true. If so, do you think this is a good gamble? Doing a Knight Rider relaunch as a movie, a comedy with John Cena and Kevin Hart? Do you think it's a disastrous idea? Are you nervous but think that maybe there could be some upside? Let me know your thoughts. Jump into the comment section below and leave your comments. Also, while you're here, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Just click on that subscribe button. If you'd like to become one of my Patreon supporters, look in the description of this video for a link. It will take you to my Patreon page to give you a lot of information. And make sure you're following me on social media, on Facebook and on Twitter, simply at John Campea. That'll do it for me, guys. And until the next video, bye-bye.